not being able to give them what they need or what they want. So I, at that point, thought that I should give up, that maybe being a business owner wasn't for me. I thought that, that I just needed to do something else. And a couple days later, I walked in to a coffee shop that I worked at, right? I don't know if anybody else lives the life that I lived, but I worked from a lot of coffee shops. The kids would be at school and I would go to the coffee shop and get some work done. Now, I want you to understand this was 2009, and that was the height of going into our last major recession here in the US. And this coffee shop, I had gotten to know the owners, and I had several times pitched them the idea of text message marketing, and several times they had told me no. Well, about 3 months prior to this, they told me that they were going to have to close. And at that point, I said, hey, you might as well try it, right? You have nothing to lose at this point. So this particular day, I walked in, and they looked at me and they said, it's working. We're going to be able to stay in business because of this. Now, was it the end? Was it an end all be all? No, but it was enough to start to turn the ship around. And that's what made me stay the course. That's what made me decide that I wanted, no matter what, to be able to help business owners, small business owners, because I knew that that impact is their life and their family, not just their business. And that's what we're talking about. And that's why I'm doing this training today, because we see that happening again. I don't know how many of you guys are currently working with local businesses, but again, we're seeing them start to go out of business right and left. They have been hit probably the hardest by this pandemic. And so my goal is to be able to help you help them. And it's really for one reason only, and that is I know that I can't help them all. And I want them to have that help. So that's why I had asked you, are you seriously committed to helping small business owners? Because I don't want to teach this to people that aren't seriously committed. So do me a favor and drop in the comments, are you guys seriously committed to helping small business owners? Are you guys willing to do what it takes to help them? And obviously, you'll make a nice living doing it as well. I, at this point now, several years later, like a decade, that's a lot of years, have helped thousands of small business owners and have been able to give them the tools that they need to succeed. And that's what I want to help you do too. So I want to tell you a little bit that this is going to be a different kind of training. So I'm asking you to maybe put aside maybe your preconceived notions. I'm asking you to understand that I have a couple different philosophies. First of all, I have a giver's gain philosophy. So I teach other people to get clients and to help through giving first. I truly believe that the more we give, the more we get back. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I am a disruptor. So I do things very differently. I do things my way, and I'm pretty unapologetic about being a disruptor. So if I say something that goes against maybe what you do or what you've been taught or what you've read, one, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions always, but two, know that I tend to do things a little bit differently. I'm very unapologetic about being a disruptor. In fact, I even wrote a book called Unapologetically Me. So I get that that is just part of it. So I want to make sure that you're successful. That is really what this is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the training. Do me a favor, if you have questions, put them in the chat. My goal is to answer all the questions for you. So real quick, I'm just going to check with my team to make sure they're in and they're in the chat, and then we'll get going. You ready to go? Okay. let me share my screen here. Okay. Do me a favor again and let me know that you can see me, you can see my screen, and you're good to go. Okay. So again, a big welcome. I am super glad you're here. This is what I am probably the most passionate about. Again, my name is Amanda Reed with Reed Mobile Marketing. And as we jump in, I have a couple of housekeeping items for you. First, I want you to say hi to Mason. I think you've already seen him in the chat a little bit. I had to include a picture of him playing rugby as well, because I think that's how he would rather be known than in his suit and tie. But Mason is a marketing consultant here at Reed Mobile Marketing. He is here to help me answer your questions, help keep me on track, which is really difficult. So feel sorry for him, because it is not an easy thing to do. And he will be throughout this week answering your questions in the Facebook group, helping me post things and sending things. So make sure you know that he's part of our team, and give a shout out to him. He probably is going to be more useful to you than even I am, if that's possible. Sorry, I had to admit someone, and it stopped my, okay. So the second thing is make sure to ask questions, please. I am here to make sure you get all your questions answered. I want you to be able to go out and help local businesses. At the end of this 3-day training, I believe that you will have all the tools you need to be able to go out and execute exactly what we're talking about. So as I said, I started my business over a decade ago as a single mom with 5 kids. And this was the chaos of my life when I started this business. But what I want to tell you is, when I first started this business, I didn't actually realize I was getting into marketing. The thing is in my, I call it my previous life, I call it my last corporate America job, I was a project manager of operations at a credit card company, which basically meant I had to make sure that anybody that talked to customers could do their jobs. And there was one department that I absolutely hated, and that was marketing. I thought that everything we did in marketing was a scam. And I hate to say it, but it kind of was. I would tell the marketing department that our systems couldn't support something and things like that, and they didn't care. They would send out offers anyway, and over and over and over again, I saw customers getting hurt, and I just couldn't handle it. And honestly, to the point where I would go over to that building and people would run and hide from me. So I hope as I've grown up, I have a little more tact now, but it was one of those things that I just thought marketing was the biggest scam. And then this idea of text message marketing came across my desk. You saw the picture of me and my kids. The idea of me having a phone conversation at that point in time was basically impossible. Nobody wanted to talk to me. So I was an early adopter to text messaging. The reality is, though, I didn't realize I was an early adopter. So as I said in the beginning, I got a lot of no's. I got way more no's than I got yeses. In fact, I can remember explaining to business owners what a text message was. It was craziness. So I had to really double down on understanding marketing, understanding how to take people on that customer journey. And really, as I said before, the passion for me is with local businesses. So what do I mean by local business? I don't necessarily mean local to you. I do business, I have clients all across the US. I mean local to their community. So I mean that someone has to come in to an establishment. Sorry, as people are in the waiting room, it gets, so I mean people have to come into an establishment, or they have to call you, or so electricians, plumbers, restaurants, bars, breweries, anything like that would make sure that you're would be a local business. So basically, they serve their local community. So I don't want you to think that it has to be people that are just local to you, but it has to, they are local to their community. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. If you could do me a favor and make sure everybody's muted, I think it'll be, make sure it's easier for everybody else to hear me. So thanks for, as I said before, thanks for making sure you're flexible with me and all that. But make sure you're muted so everybody can hear. So local businesses are local to their community. So how important is marketing to local businesses? So statistically speaking, 79.1% of small businesses fail. And this was before the pandemic. I don't even know what the numbers are going to be after. And this is out of the Harvard Business Journal. When we looked out at 8 out of 10 of the businesses that fail for these top 5 reasons. And if you notice, the top 3 are marketing related reasons. That's how important marketing is to small businesses. It is basically the difference between success and failure. So that kind of begs the question, why don't more businesses focus on marketing? I think there's not enough time, not enough money. They don't know what works. There's too many options. It's very confusing. But the biggest reason is they don't know who to trust. The reality is they've been ripped off a lot. They've wasted a lot of money by people selling them something they didn't need, sometimes even lying to them, but basically taking advantage of the fact that they don't have as much information as other people have. So that is the primary reason why I teach people how to help local businesses, because I am sick and tired of marketers taking advantage of local business owners. So here's just one example. I have hundreds. You guys are probably in some of the same Facebook groups that I am, but at least once a day, I will see somebody post in a Facebook group, hey, I just got a client, now what do I do? And sometimes I ignore it. I'm not good at ignoring things. A lot of times I'll comment back, give them their money back. You cannot charge someone if you're asking me, then what is your next step, right? This is another example. Basically, they have the wrong type of campaign to be running that type of Facebook ad. So that says to me, they don't understand the basics of running Facebook ads, yet they're charging somebody to run Facebook ads for them. So my mission 100% is to provide high quality digital marketing training and solutions to small business owners. And I am doing that now through you. I'm asking you to come in this mission with me and make sure that we can provide high quality solutions to small business owners. Here's what we're going to cover in these 3 days. Day 1, what local businesses need. This can be different than other e-commerce businesses or big businesses. Day 2, how to get local businesses results. And day 3, how to find clients, because I know that you guys are going to want to basically talk to local businesses and things like that. So you're going to want to know exactly how we get clients here. So let's kick things off. What do local businesses need? Simply put, they need what we call staircase marketing. This is a term that we use here at Read Mobile Marketing, one that we phrase to help small businesses understand what marketing actually looks like. And it's basically we're going to take a look at what the components are and how it applies to small businesses, starting out with just the basics of what is marketing. Now, if you look at marketing in the dictionary, the definition is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. At some point, I will have that memorized, but I don't yet. Basically, that to me says marketing is the one thing that I think it is not, and that is selling. So if marketing isn't selling, what is it? At Reed Mobile Marketing, we believe that success in marketing depends on your ability to build a relationship with consumers and the loyalty they have to you. So if it's all about relationship and loyalty, then we know that a relationship and loyalty can only be built off one thing, and that's communication. So from this point forward, we're going to be talking about how to look at marketing as communication and building that relationship with the consumer. Because in reality, marketing is like dating. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this is what I think a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, especially local businesses do. They basically start out with a marriage proposal. It's like walking into a bar or a coffee shop or a restaurant, finding somebody you see attractive and saying, hey, will you marry me? You'd never do that, right? You'd say, hey, can I buy you a drink? Well, when we put our offer in front of somebody and say, hey, buy this, or I'm the best, it's literally like walking in and saying, hey, will you marry me? So this is basically what we call the marketing staircase here at Reed Mobile Marketing. It's how do we introduce ourselves to somebody, earn that right to give them an offer, build the relationship, and then create customer loyalty for the businesses that we work with. The point being is that with each step, we're asking someone to take the next step in the relationship with us. We're just basically wanting to get a yes. Now, with local businesses as opposed to e-commerce business, this is it. What we take a look at is an online to offline transaction. We're trying to find them online and then either get them to walk through the door of an establishment, maybe it's call a local service business, or sometimes it's even purchase something online. But for the most, it's online to offline transactions. So we want to capture their information online and then help drive traffic to the store or drive phone calls that then result in sales. So let's take a look really quickly at what the core components of this are. We have an introduction, we have relationship building, and we have marriage. Now, there are several steps within each of those components, but these are the core components that make up the staircase. Let's take a look at the first one. So the first component is that introduction. You're going to introduce yourself. Here's some examples of some introductions, really, really common introductions. Ads, networking, contests, free advice. It's anything that is giving us a, hey, here's who I am. Again, it's that first step in that relationship, right? When I walk in and say, hi, can I buy you a drink? That's the key. You have to give them a reason to let you introduce yourself. This is our signature free beer strategy. Now, let me tell you, I'll be honest, we work with a lot of breweries. So, because why wouldn't you, right? But it literally comes from the fact that a lot of times when we run campaigns for a brewery, we give people a beer. We say, hey, the first beer's on us, come on in. Now, understand that there's some legal ways that you have to word that depending on the state that you're in and things like that. There's always a way to make sure it gets done. So this is our free beer strategy. It's giving someone a reason to let us talk to them, right? So go back to that bar example with me for a minute, right? So if somebody walks in and says, hey, can I buy you a drink? If I say yes, basically what I'm saying is you're buying 5 to 10 minutes of my time. After that, we're gonna then go on and say, either we like each other or we don't after the end of that 5 minutes, right? And either I will give them my number or whatever. We'll take the next step in that relationship. The same thing happens in marketing. You're asking for them to give you their information. We ask for email and phone number and name, sometimes other different things. but we're asking, it's that exchange of information, but we have to give them a reason to do that. Oftentimes this is called the offer. We call it our free beer strategy because it's what goes into making a good offer. And part of it is, it has to be something that people want, and it has to be free. Okay, the second core component is relationship building. So we've gotten their attention and we've earned the right to introduce ourselves to them. Then we need to actually build that relationship, right? That's where we want to build the trust. So there's text and email follow-up, there's free consultations, free trials, maybe what's going on your social media, coupons. These are all examples of what that relationship building is. It's the continual engagement to show people that they can trust you. And then the third component is marriage. Now, I understand you're not going to quite jump into marriage that quickly in a relationship, but this is where an actual sale takes place, where we're either getting a signed contract or someone's making a purchase. But in reality, that is just the beginning. You see, we all know that just because you're married doesn't mean you can stop dating, right? Not if you want to stay married for a long time. So the marriage step is probably one of the longest steps. It's loyalty programs, it's incentives, it's reviews, and it's most importantly, ongoing communication. And what I will tell you is this is the most overlooked step by most businesses, especially local businesses, especially small businesses. We're going to get into a lot of that tomorrow, but it is important to understand that this is probably the most important step to their business and the one that they miss the most. So let's take a look at a couple real life examples of exactly what I'm talking about, and then down to the two things that all local businesses need. So this is a local business that is product-based that we're talking about. So I'm going to use beer, shocking. This is an actual campaign that we've run several times. So we'll run a Facebook campaign, enter to win free beer for a year. Okay, so that's us basically earning the right to introduce ourselves. We're offering a contest, right? Once people enter that contest, they've said, yeah, I'll accept that. We then send them a coupon for a free beer. We always send that via text message. And we'll get into the ins and outs of that tomorrow as well, but coupons are always redeemable, trackable, and all those sorts of things because I really believe in the numbers. So the customer comes in, redeems their free beer. Here's the key thing to this, that why local businesses love it. We, on average, make a business $6 for every free beer we give away. And this goes for other things. I'm obviously using beer, the example here. But understand, when people come in, they buy more. So we might give them something free, but they're buying. They become purchasing customers. They're trying the products and they're building up that relationship. And then we get them, we send them exclusive content and promotions, inviting them back and get them on a loyalty program and asking for reviews. So that's kind of that staircase for a local business that is product-based. So let's take a look at it for service-based. Again, customer sees an ad with an offer, and tomorrow we'll go into some of the offers that we use, how to create an offer even if a business doesn't have an offer. That's key because we have some ways that no matter what, you can always give a really good offer. Customer sent information regarding your services, gets a free quote or inspection, especially if we're talking plumbing or carpet cleaning or even house cleaning, anything like that that is service-based, or if we're talking insurance, financial services. This even works for chiropractic, physical therapists, basically anything that is more of a service than you're coming away with a product. And then they book the job, and again, we're having that ongoing communication with them and ask them to leave a review. And in this case, we're going to ask for referrals as well. Okay. So those are two examples of our staircase, right? So in a nutshell, local businesses need two things: a way to bring in new customers, and a way to get their existing customers coming back more frequently. And let me tell you, this is key. Now, a lot of you probably know the 80-20 rule. If you're a fan of Perry Marshall, which I am, I don't follow very many people. Perry Marshall is one that I follow. He has a book called 80-20 Sales and Marketing. It's really, really, really good. But 80-20 applies to everything. But in this instance, we're going to talk about where money comes from. So most people know that 80% of their business comes from 20% of their clients, right? Or 20% of their customers. They have 20% that are the most valuable. They spend the most money with them. The reality is, if you can get that 20% to come back more frequently or spend more money, that's even better than bringing new people in, because they're already loyal to you. They already know and love your products, and they're likely to spend way more than a new customer would. So the second thing that business owners really need that they overlook all the time is a way to get their existing customers coming back more frequently. And that's exactly what you can bring to the table for local businesses. You can implement that staircase for them. The reason why we love the marketing staircase and we bring it to all of our clients is it's easy for them to understand. They can see the steps that their customers need to take or their potential customers need to take in order to build that relationship with them. The reality is you have to help small business, local business owners cut through the overwhelm. And that staircase is an easy way to do that. And you're bringing them a way to get them new customers and a way for them to get their existing customers, their best customers, back more frequently. Basically, you can make it easy for them. And that's what I want you to do. And tomorrow we're going to show you the actual ins and outs of exactly how to do that. But I'm going to leave you with some homework, because at the end of this, what I want you to do is get clients, get customers, and help local businesses. I think you guys have seen in all my emails and all my promotions, we're giving away some really cool prizes. So some of the prizes will be determined on who turns in the homework and who does the homework. So your homework for day one is simple. I want you to go and update your LinkedIn profile. I'm going to show you in day 3 exactly how to use LinkedIn to get more customers if you're not already doing that. But your LinkedIn profile has to be updated. And some of you may be way ahead of this and already have done that. Great. If that's the case, just connect with me. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. But here's what I'd like to see you do for your LinkedIn profile. Update your headline. It's really important to include what's in it for them. Don't just put your title in there. Everybody has their title in there. Nobody really cares what your title is. So use that headline to tell people how you can help them. Tell a story. It's great to tell a story of someone you've helped, someone you might want to help, maybe even a little bit about you. Add a call to action and use hashtags. That's really key things for you to be able to start getting customers on LinkedIn. Oop, what did you do? Okay. Uh-oh. I think that's it, actually. Sorry about that. Okay. We don't need to go through all that. Okay. So what I want you to know is we're really dedicated to your success, and I want to see you thrive. So tomorrow, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. So what I will tell you is tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and show you exactly what to do to execute those staircases for people, and exactly how to make sure that you can meet those two things for local businesses, how to get them new customers, and equally as important, if not more important, how to get their existing customers coming back more frequently. So Mason posted a link to the LinkedIn profile enhancer. If you want us to take a look at your LinkedIn profile, we're going to put a place in the group that you can drop your LinkedIn profile as well. As I said, I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn. So feel free to connect with me, connect with Mason. We'd love to check out your profiles. So now I want to answer any questions you have. I see Mason's been answering questions for me in the chat, which I appreciate. What questions do we have that we need? We need to go over. Mason, do we have lots of questions or?
No.
Okay, so the one question I saw, so if you guys have questions over anything we've covered up to this point, please drop them. I would love to answer them for you. Another way that you can get questions answered is always dropping questions in that group. We'll be in there answering questions for sure. So one of the questions I saw in there that I didn't see Mason's response, but I'll cover just a little bit, and then we'll cover in day 3 extensively, is how to get customers if you don't already have a relationship with them. Believe it or not, I'm going to say, hey, we're going to build a staircase for us, right? We're going to find a way to introduce ourselves to customers and clients. And again, remember, I have that giver's gain philosophy. So a lot of times I will provide free advice. I will create videos. We have lots of different things that we can do to just give people information. But a key thing is really building that relationship. That's why I want you starting on LinkedIn, because it's a great way to be able to put out content and get people to know you and trust you and establish yourself as the expert. Okay, do we have any other questions before we jump off of here? So we're right about at an hour here. And so just so you know, I'm going to try to go live in the group tomorrow. We're going to post this up there. If for some reason things aren't working out, we'll send you a Zoom link again. But I assume Facebook Live Producer will be back up and running before tomorrow. But thank you for being flexible with me and jumping on here. Oh, do we need LinkedIn Premium? I love that question. No, you do not. There are some benefits to LinkedIn Premium. I'm not gonna lie, I've used it, I like it, but just your basic LinkedIn account will work and works really well for starting. Once you really start getting lots of clients on LinkedIn, you might want LinkedIn Premium because it does give you more information, and I like to know who's looking at me and stalking me and all that sort of thing. So it does give you a lot more of that information, but LinkedIn itself is great. And let me tell you, it is the best and most underused platform for business to business right now. Understand, the people that are on LinkedIn are your ideal clients. They are business owners, they're decision makers, and even more importantly, they're there to do business. I've been teaching LinkedIn classes for almost 10 years now. So, and LinkedIn's kind of gone up and down, but we'll go over some exact LinkedIn strategies, and I have some trainings that I'll give you. Building a relationship and building expertise on LinkedIn is one of the easiest ways to get customers and to get clients. And I'm actually going to give you some other easy offers, foolproof ways to get clients in day 3 as well. Okay, so I can't wait to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. Can't wait to see your profiles. We'll definitely give you some feedback. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop it in the group and we'll be in there. And we can't wait to see you tomorrow. We will be live at 11 Mountain Time. I know we have some different time zones here. And of course, if you can't make it, we'll put the recording in there, but we'd love to see you live. With that, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.